Hi everyone, let's learn about the best way to develop our applications, that is using microservice architecture. If you really have a complex and large to scale application, then microservices is the optimal solution for you. Microservice architecture has gained massive yet significant popularity in the recent years thanks to its ability to address the challenges faced by monolithic applications. Before diving deep into microservices, let's just have a brief discussion on how not to develop our application, that is using monolithic architecture. In the past, most applications were developed using monolithic architecture. So, a monolithic application is a software application that is built as a single and self-contained unit. In this architecture, all the functionalities and the components are integrated. Hi everyone, let's learn about the best way to develop our applications, that is using microservice architecture. If you really have a complex and large to scale application, then microservices is the optimal solution for you. Microservice architecture has gained massive yet significant popularity in the recent years, thanks to its ability to overcome the challenges provided by the monolithic application. So before diving deep into microservices, let's just have a brief discussion on how not to develop our application, that is using the monolithic architecture. In the past, most applications were developed using this monolithic architecture. So a monolithic application is basically a software application that is built as a single and self-contained unit. In this architecture, all the functionalities and components are tightly integrated and run together as a single unit. So there were few problems the developers faced by using this monolithic architecture. Let's just have a look at them. So the first problem is development bottlenecks. So multiple development teams working on the same code base can create bottlenecks and slow down the development process. Let's just take an example of the e-commerce application Amazon. Let's assume there are three teams, team A, team B and team C. And team A is responsible for, let's say, payments. Team B is responsible for offers and sales. Then team C is responsible for logistics. Similarly, there will be n number of teams, but for simplification of our example, let's assume there are only three teams. And the bottleneck problem would look something like this. So let's assume these three teams are performing this operation 1 and 2 is done by team A, operation 3 is done by team B and operation 4 is done by team C. So since the changes or the development activities or the new features are done to the same code base, since all the teams are working on the same code base, they have to wait for the other team's changes to go first and then apply their changes. What I mean by this is, let's say team A has some changes, team B also has this different changes but for the same code base, and team C also has the changes. So it cannot happen like all the three teams can deploy their changes to the production at the same time. First the team A has to do it, then team B has to do it, and it has to be in a sequential manner, which creates a bottleneck. So this is one of the major drawback or disadvantage with respect to monolithic architecture. Then the second problem was limited flexibility. Adding new features or making changes to a monolithic application can be time consuming and complex. It requires coordination across the entire team of developers. So here if you can see, front end changes are there, business logic is there, and database is there. Let's assume these three circles as team A, team B and team C. Team A has some business logics and interacts with the database as well, similar to team B and team C. So if let's suppose a new feature has to be introduced by team B, the changes has to be paused in team A and team C. After the complete changes done by the team B and then the changes are deployed to production, then only team A and team C can work on their, deploy their changes. So this is a limited flexibility, and one more thing is all the three teams has to select or work on the same technology stack. It's not like team A can work on a different tech stack and team B can work on a different tech stack. Since all of them are working on the same code base, they have to stick to the same technology. So that's one more limitation in the flexibility. And the next thing is reliability and fault tolerance. A failure in one component can impact the entire application, potentially leading to a system-wide outage. So let's suppose there is one error from team B that is working on sales and offers, right? Then the entire application will go down because of that one error. It's not like only the sales and offers section will be down. It's like the entire application will be down since all the changes are present in a single code base. But that's not the case with respect to microservices. So with respect to microservices, all these problems, which we have seen in monolithic architecture will be overcome. Let's discuss more about microservices architecture. So this is an architectural style where a large application is broken down into smaller independent services called microservices. Each microservices focus on a specific business capability and can be developed, deployed, and scaled independently. These microservices communicate with each other through well-defined APIs, forming the backbone of the overall application. So let's just have a comparison between monolithic architecture and microservices. So this was the diagram that we saw earlier during the limited flexibility disadvantage. So this is how microservices works. Instead of all the three teams working on the same database with the same business logic, it will be further split into different teams, their own services, which are called as microservices, and they have their own database. And now there is no limitation for each team to wait for other changes to go to production. They can do their own deployments without, they are loosely coupled with each other, and they can also choose their own technology. So this is the difference between monolithic architecture and microservices. Let's look at some of the benefits provided by microservices architecture. First, it enables teams to work independently on different microservices, which enhance the development speed and agility. So that's one advantage. And then each team can choose most suitable technology stack for their microservice. Hence, it promotes the flexibility as we discussed earlier. Additionally, microservices can be deployed and scaled individually, allowing for efficient resource utilization and improved fault tolerance. So basically, they can be deployed, developed, and also scaled independently. So it improves the efficiency of our application. However, with advantages comes few challenges also with respect to microservices architecture. Let's have a look at these challenges. Coordinating and managing communications between microservices can be complex and can lead to confusion among the internal teams, which might affect, since there is complexity in coordination, that's one of the key challenge. And then ensuring consistency across multiple database and handling distributed transactions requires a careful design. If not, can lead to a lot of problems, because since it will, let's say let's take the example of the e-commerce application, which is the Amazon, and there will be a user, right? The user data should be common across all the database, across all the microservices. So design of the database, design of the architecture has to be done carefully, or else it will lead to a lot of problems. And then network latency and resilience becomes crucial factors as well. So it's essential to have strategies in place to address all these challenges effectively. But compared to monolithic applications, microservices is the go-to architecture style to build our applications. So this is all about how to and how not to build our applications. If you have learned something new, please do subscribe to our channel and support us. And don't forget to like the video.